World famous emo Johnnie Guilbert is getting canceled by his audience right now for tweeting out a hate symbol. And today I'm gonna get all up into this drama, but before I do, hey, hi, hello, my name is Dan Frampton, and this is the art of slop. If you like drama, if you like slop, if you like getting into the trenches and sticking your nose where it doesn't belong, then you are actually in the right spot. And did you know if you comment on this video within the first 3 hours, I will reply. That is the Frampton guarantee. So we gotta talk about this situation a little bit over here. And for it, I gotta shout out Crimson over here because we got a whole thread to go through on Twitter that explains all the context really well. But before we get into this context, I gotta tell you guys one thing. I have a main channel, right? It's this over here, Dan Frampton, all one word, the O's a zero. I actually interviewed Johnnie Guilbert a long time ago. It is by far the most popular piece of content I have ever put on the internet. It is sitting at 213,000 views right now, and it is 3 hours long. But just so you know, there's a little bit of history here between me and Johnnie Guilbert. Although he did unfollow me on all platforms, and I am extremely heartbroken. I don't know what I did to Johnnie Guilbert to get unfollowed, but anyway, none of this is coming from a petty place. Believe me, I'm even wearing my Johnnie Guilbert t-shirt. But you might be wondering, oh my god, Johnnie is such a wholesome guy, such a funny guy. What did he do to get canceled by his audience? Well, basically, this Carrington guy, okay, I think it might be his roommate or something, tweeted out, "Can somebody please make me a banner for my YouTube? I don't know what to make it." And then Johnnie tweeted this in response. Now, I'm not gonna blow it up and show it big style because there's an aspect of it that needs to remain obscured and distorted, okay? It says your channel name as poorly as possible and then a little happy face down here. But if you look at the forehead of that happy face, it has that Austrian painter's favorite symbol on the forehead. So it's like Johnnie Guilbert just literally tweeted out in response to this a hate symbol. Now, in junior high or high school and you have friends going back and forth, someone might draw this on like your history textbook as a way to troll you kind of thing. It just seems like the worst kind of edgy joke ever. It doesn't really seem like he's being hateful or racist or anything like that. It really comes across as just like forced edginess. And then you're like, okay, this is a 27-year-old emo guy being forced edgy in the year 2024. I think that is pretty cringe. But it turns out the image was quickly deleted because his audience was like, yo, Johnnie, you cannot be tweeting that. And then after a bunch of people called him out for it, Johnnie responded in text form like this. I saw Carrington's tweet and looked up bad header on Google to reply with a poorly made header because I thought it'd be kind of funny. Unfortunately, I didn't review the image before sending it and received a text from Carrington to let me know it had an inappropriate image on it. That is so funny. How do you tweet something out to your millions of followers without looking at it? It is crazy. My apologies to everyone. That was not my intention to share an image like that. Just poor judgment on my part, and I'll be more cautious of what I share in the future. I'm truly embarrassed and upset at myself for not thinking more beforehand. That is so silly. You have to go onto another platform, google.com, search something, see the thing, save the thing, go back over to Twitter, open it up again, then put it into the post, and you see it all the way through this. And then you didn't even notice that? All right, cool, whatever. If it was just an edgy joke and you were trying to be edgy, just say that you're trying to be edgy. But I don't actually think he was trying to be edgy. I do think he is telling the truth here, because if you look that up on Google, this image definitely does show up. But if I'm being honest with you, a thumbnail even this small, I can tell that it's an inappropriate image that you shouldn't be sharing to your millions of fans. But Johnnie does have, like I said, millions of fans that are defending him and backing him in this situation. And to me, I don't really care one way or the other. It just looks so bad and so silly. And statements like Johnnie Guilbert fully posted a swastika are actually true. He did do that. But he responded in video form. Of course, without a shirt on. We gotta love it. And I don't want to endorse this channel, this Monty Angel over here. Maybe one of the biggest haters on the entire internet. Sometimes it's entertaining, but mostly it's just the most hater energy in the world. but it is the only place, or at least the quickest place, I could find Johnnie Guilbert's response to this. So let's see if it's a good response, if it satiates the public. Naked Johnny, what do you have to say?
Well, I talked about this before, but that tweet with Carrington that I didn't look at properly and therefore sent something offensive. People really like to come up with the conclusion that I'm just a fucking horrible person that wants to be offensive all the time. Shit like that. I think they just want you to take accountability. Can you tell me what they want me to take accountability for? Because I've addressed everything. The moment that I sent that tweet to Carrington, who it was sent to, he told me, and I was like, I didn't even notice, my fucking bad. And then I apologized, and I apologized to him in person, I apologized online, I apologized multiple times, so I'm not really sure what I should do. But if people want to sit on their high horse and just throw stones at people because they think that they're fucking perfect, then so be it. It was under, I think it was YouTube header and then bad, because I wanted a shitty drawn YouTube header. I saw one with a smiley face, I did not notice the other thing. And when I noticed it, I was really taken back. And the reason why I didn't even look it over was because I was gonna have breakfast. I'm sorry, I didn't fucking think about looking for a horrible thing.
And really, to be honest, he does take kind of a defensive tone there. Oh, I was too busy making breakfast, guys. I had the eggs in one hand and the swastika in the other. What was I to do? But to be fair, Johnny did do everything. He did apologize. All you gotta do now, Johnny, is kind of like sit in that for a little bit. That's what accountability is. You don't say sorry and then it disappears. You say sorry, and then you gotta take lashings until people forget and move on. And people are willing to forget and move on. So all the moves Johnny made after getting called out for this, I actually think he did pretty okay, you know? He addressed it in text, he addressed it in video form. I think he knows how obviously bad it was to tweet that thing and how obviously embarrassed he needs to be for it. But you just gotta sit in that embarrassment for a little bit, Johnny. Because to be this famous and have this much influence just to be tweeting out these kinds of images really is ridiculous. You have a gigantic audience, therefore gigantic responsibility. I know you don't want to hear that kind of thing. You just want to live your little emo life, doing your little emo things, and that's fine and dandy. But there are millions of people watching you do your little emo thing, and then they're being influenced by that. So if you're happy, Johnnie Guilbert, with how you handled this situation, then that's all you can do. Just keep on keeping on, move forward, and everything will be fine. So if you just take a quick look at this online, Johnny is taking the biggest L imaginable from everybody outside of his audience. And right now, he's kind of got to do that. Is this the kind of move that's going to ruin his career? Did he destroy every possibility going forward? No, I don't necessarily think so. I think that the guy is going to be just fine. And hopefully he learned a very valuable lesson through all of this. Look at the things that you post before you post them. It seems like the easiest thing in the world. You should open every social media app with discretion. Before you even like something, before you repost something, you need to see if it like aligns with you before you just make it public. Otherwise, there might be a little backlash that you need to face. So Johnny, honestly, there's no way to turn this gigantic L into a W right now. This L is an L and you gotta own it. There will be W's in your future, don't worry, but for now, you must wallow. Nobody thinks that you're secretly a fan of that Austrian painter. Nobody secretly thinks that you're going to rallies and marches and that kind of thing. You just look silly and irresponsible and mostly just kind of cringe, to be honest. But even if he didn't unfollow me on Twitter and Instagram, I'd still be saying the same stuff. But for now, I gotta go. Thank you so much for watching. The Slop channel definitely is slopping right now, and it's all thanks to you. So if I could recommend a video to you really quick, it would be this Mutahar Nux Taku situation that I just recently went over. Okay, take care and have a good one.